Hey, Hollow Hunters, it's Skylin,
And Michaela.
and welcome back to the Hollow Grimoires podcast.
It has once again been a hot minute.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. What can I say? I'm a busy bee. But we're back, and we got some catching up to do, as well as we are going to be talking about
The
the
rest,
last.
I don't even know how many chapters it was, but the
It,
rest
yes.
of Rebel Witch.
Which, oh my god, there's so much tea in this book.
It was a wild fucking ride.
Yes, it was. I'm like, I don't know how many times I about threw this book across the room. Like, so
Ugh,
dumbfounded.
I have
Ugh.
so many, first of all, little tabbies and so many notes
See,
because I finished it
I
a while
had,
ago. Well, I finished
yeah.
it a while ago and I took notes while I was reading because I wasn't sure when we were going to be able to record next. So I was like,
hmm
I'm going to forget all of the reasons why I tabbed and highlighted these things. So let me write all of this down.
Yeah. I have, like, you can see, like, there's a chunk of my
Yeah.
book that's not all tabbed out, but the rest of it's all tabbed out was because, one, I recently moved, two, I lost all my tabs, and three, I have been crazy busy with work and everything. So.
Yeah.
But I finished it and I need to go back and just tab the shit or
Yeah.
beep the crap out of this.
It's okay. I
Beep
swore
beep.
earlier.
Yeah. So I'm just so excited. And then we'll go from there and see
Yep.
what else. Okay.
Well,
What what chapter do you remember stopping on? I think my last tab was chapter 50, if
okay.
I'm right.
Because you had read ahead
Oh
on
yeah,
accident,
yeah.
remember? So I am starting on 42.
42. Okay, okay, okay. Back to 42.
All right. So the first one is going to be chapter 42, page
Mhm.
259.
Okay.
And it is when Gideon is talking to Harrow, and
Mhm.
it's the last sentence, and she says, "Don't forget whose side you're on tonight." Her voice echoed back to him, "Or there will be worse scars to come." It's like, I know that she's saying it in hopes that he's gonna do the right thing according
Mhm.
to her and them,
Yeah.
but, like, come on. And
Yeah, like I
also,
just
because also at this point, he already knows that she's the missing sister.
yep. And so that he's
So,
so conflicted.
yes, on one
I know.
hand, he's so ready to just deliver Rune on a silver platter to save his own life, and on the other hand, he's like, but I love her,
Mhm.
and still
And
hasn't actually said it to her.
oh my god. Do you know how many times I wanted to, but hence me wanting to throw this book across the room because I wanted to brain this guy.
Yes,
Oh, he made me
yeah,
so freaking mad.
yeah, same.
Uh, you have anything from
Oh, honey,
40?
honey, I got a lot more.
Okay,
All
start
right,
cooking.
so go ahead, turn the page to chapter 43, page
Mhm.
261.
Okay.
Okay. "And you're a wolf I can't outrun," she whispered, closing her eyes against his touch. "Not even in my sleep." His hands went still, prompting her eyes to open. "Dreaming about me again?" He cocked an eyebrow, as if this pleased him. With his grip still tight on her wrist, he leaned in, his breath warm against her cold lips, making her heart beat in triple time. "How often do you dream of me, Rune?" The look in his eyes made her ache with longing. "More often than I'd like." I was like, girl, like she is literally trying to steal from him right now, and he doesn't even care about that fact and is just trying to flirt with her. But is
Oh
he
yeah.
doing it to throw her off, or
Is he doing it because he actually likes her and he like
right?
wants like I
Yeah,
think he's like it's finally coming to like somewhat of a turning point of like him being like I him going towards the thing of like, I want to save Rune, like I'm in love with Rune, and like
Yeah.
coming to that reality, and I'm just like, yes,
Like, hurry up and come
yes,
to that reality just a little bit faster, please. Like,
because
please.
come on, come on, open your eyes.
For real. Alright, next one. Just turn your page. It's on 263 towards the bottom.
Ooh, I have one on 263 towards the top.
Towards the top? Okay, you go first.
Okay. All right. So it kind of goes, it's from 262 into 263. And
Yeah.
so Gideon leaned in anyway, calling her bluff as his mouth descended on hers. His free hand slid into her hair, pulling her hair closer, lips parting hers. His kiss made her ache in all the usual places, but it also made her ache somewhere new. What if this was is really goodbye? And it made like the whole what if this is a really goodbye, like
Yeah.
for some reason I'm like, oh my god, like hello, open your eyes, girl, like you're
Yeah.
feeling all of these, you're having all these emotions and stuff,
Right.
like you're obviously upset
Yes.
because like you don't want to say goodbye to him, and I'm just like,
Get a clue and
open
figure it
your
out.
noggin. Yes, literally.
Yeah.
Okay, what is yours?
Okay. So it was Gideon who did that. Trembling from a little from the pain of his curse, he lowered her from his hips. Taking her hand in his, he drew the pistol from his holster and pressed it against her palm. Promise me you won't lose this one, he whispered, his cheek rough against hers. Rune glanced up at him. What? But he was already stepping away, leaving his gun in her hand. And if someone tries to hurt you, he said, and there's no other way to stop them, don't think twice. Just shoot. Got it? Like, he just took his own gun off his person and was just like, here you go.
You know, have it.
Just
Don't lose it this time.
don't lose it. And if you have to use it, don't think about it. Just do it.
Yep. And
Like,
I'm not gonna spoil it, but that whole scene right then and there is like one of another big like foreshadowing, like turning point.
yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. All right, what's your next one?
45.
Your next tab is on in chapter 45?
It's like the first page of 45, so 267.
Okay. All right, so I got one in 264.
Okay.
So it goes, uh, her footsteps slowed, pausing in the door frame. She turned to glance back at him. Gideon? The sight of him blurred. I wish. Don't. His voice was ragged. Just go, Rune. She nodded, swallowing back tears. The only safe thing to do was run. So that's what she did. And I tabbed this. I was like, oh my god. I felt like my heart was getting ripped out of my soul.
Yeah.
Ran over by a train and stomped on.
Yeah.
It just made me really, really sad.
Yeah.
And then I have something on the page before 45, 266.
Yeah.
Which was Rune backed up a step as a puffing soldier ran into view, stopping to catch his breath. We're needed on the other side of town. Captain's orders. All hands make haste. The soldiers looked at each other and ran. Silence flooded the park. Rune looked to the waterfront and further out to Alex's boat, waiting patiently in the water. The way was clear. And I was like, oh, Gideon. Oh, Gideon, you are so head over heels for this girl. So head over heels.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay.
Okay. Half an hour after Rune left his apartment, Gideon stood in the supply room of the New Blood Guard headquarters. He'd ridden straight here and given the order to move most soldiers to the main harbor, where the Crimson Moth would make her escape. Or so he'd led them to believe. But Rune wouldn't be smuggling witches aboard the Arcadia tonight. The moment Gideon had first accused her of it, she would have abandoned that idea. No, Rune would avoid the main harbor, expecting Gideon to double the secrecy, or the security. But his soldiers didn't know that. It's the fact that he knows that he is going to be executed if he does not lead them to her, and he still leads them away from her.
Yep. And it's like, how clueless do you have to be to not just admit that you love this woman.
Right?
Like,
At least not for a couple
someone.
more pages.
Yes.
Because that's literally my next one.
Your
It's
next one is it page?
269.
Okay, mine is 273. So
Okay, mine is 269, and it's just because I love her. I'm like, finally, he's admitting it to himself at least. He might not be able to admit it to her yet, but he's at least admitting it to himself right now.
Yep, exactly. And I'm just like, there's literally like this, like when I say it, each page gives you a completely different emotion, so it's so hard to tab every single thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And it gets worse in the last like 10 chapters of this book, and you're just like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Oh my god, no, yes, no, yes.
Right? Okay, what did you say your next one was?
273.
273. Okay.
Alright, so it has this. Rune shut her eyes against the memory of his voice. She should be happy. His plot had failed. She eluded him. She should be celebrating. But instead, a chasm had opened inside her. You are a knife in my heart. They sailed on. And I was just so sad.
Right?
I was like... Okay, when's your next one?
277.
Okay, and go.
Okay. Actually, it starts on 276.
Okay.
Towards the bottom. Wading out of the water and onto the rocks, Rune pushed back her sopping hair, held up the tiny box, and opened it. A folded, waterlogged note sat inside. As Rune unfolded it, a small coin dropped into the sand, catching the light. She picked up the coin, holding it up to the sunlight. A hole was punched in the silver, and a thin chain was fastened on. A penny, but not just any penny. A word stamped into its surface warmed Rune's shivering body. Cascadia. She flipped it over. Queen Althea's face stared out at her, pressed into the silver. Althea had ruled over Cascadia for a quarter-century during a period of peace and stability. She was the last queen to commune with the ancients, or so some believed, and legend had it that wisdom could often be seen walking with her in the royal gardens. After the revolution, coins like this one had all been melted down. Like the old maps that had to be burned, there were to be no reminders that witches once reigned in the New Republic. Sorry, I heard something. The good commander wanted history erased. Someone must have kept this contraband, or found it, at the back of a drawer perhaps, or between the cracks in some floorboards, and turned it into a necklace. But why? She glanced at the note in her other hand. The wet paper was translucent, and Rune had to squint to make out the words written in the washed-out ink. Rune, I hope you find the freedom you're looking for. Yours, Gideon. When I read... Okay, so I hate that she was betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Aurelia literally could have waited to give her that until they got to their destination. And so she was like, nah, girl, see ya.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I found this for you. Okay, bye, have fun. I was like,
mm-hmm.
Girl. But at the same time, because of future events, I'm glad that she did.
Me too. Because I'm just like...
If she didn't, things would have played out a lot differently.
Oh yeah, completely different. And then you were just like, dang. Like,
yeah.
Give it to her earlier. Or whatever. Yeah. And like, I think this is the turning point for Rune. Like,
yeah.
Rune's like, okay, like, I love this man.
Yeah.
Because of like, just, going down, it's like, where'd it go? Yeah, right here. But was a gift from Gideon doing on Alex's boat and less? Rune's heart plummeted into her stomach. He put it there for me to find. So like I think she really came to the realization of like, oh my god, he he risked all this
Yeah,
to save my
he
life.
knew he knew that I wasn't going where I said I was going, and he put this on there because he knew I was going to take Alex's boat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's how much he knows and loves this woman.
Yes. And still won't
And
admit it to her.
no, still won't say the words, you stubborn man. Stubborn.
Right?
And then, like, just the next couple pages, I'm just like, I can't tap every single sentence. Like, Jesus.
Right.
Ugh. Okay, what's your next one?
281.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. So it's towards the bottom.
Okay.
Rune was about to toss the entire book aside when the memory of Gideon stopped her, his brain burning beneath her palm, growing hotter by the second, the way he tore away from her, trembling with pain. It happens when I touch you. Fury curled like smoke inside Rune. She stared down at the book on her lap. Instead of setting it aside, Rune flipped back, searching for the spell Cressida had used to hurt Gideon. She found it soon enough. True Love's Curse is an Arcania spell. It prevents a victim from being with his true love by inflicting pain whenever he touches her skin to skin. The words made Rune dizzy. If she didn't know it before,
She knows it now.
she knows it now.
And I'm just like, come on. Be
Yeah.
so for real.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is like, I don't know if you have it.
I was gonna say I have some on the next page, which explains it a little bit more.
Yeah, go ahead.
They both assumed the spell kept Gideon away from Rune specifically, but this was something else. This was intended to keep Gideon away from his true love, which meant, it happens when I touch you. Swallowing the strange lump in her throat, Rune kept reading. Once cast, True Love's curse cannot wear off. Only the blood of the victim's true love spilled in a sacrificial act can break it. What kind of sacrificial act? Rune scanned down the page and found spell marks for the counterspell at the bottom. There were 3 in total. She stared at them. Those 3 spell marks were all it would take to break the curse, and the blood spilled in a sacrificial act.
I know. I was like, oh my god. I read it. I was like, okay, what is she gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
Like, how is she going to like?
How does she get out of this one?
Mm-hmm. And like, I wish I had my tabs because I would have tabbed like what she ended up doing.
Yeah.
And I would have been like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Because we're
so I have more starting on the bottom of 283 into 284.
Okay.
Rune's anger ignited. She lifted her chin. I suppose I should thank you. If not for your curse, I wouldn't have irrefutable proof that he loves me. Finally!
Finally!
Cressida's nostrils flared. Grabbing Rune's jaw, she slammed her head hard against the window, cracking the glass and sending a stab of pain through her skull. Despite the shock of it, despite Cressida's ferocious grip tightening on her jaw, Rune stared the queen down. Touch Gideon again, and I will make you wish you were dead. Cressida leaned in, whispering close to her ear. Do you know what I do to those who threaten me? Oh, Rune knew. Do your worst. Like, yes, girl, defend your man. Defend
my
your
man,
man.
my man. Exactly. Like,
defend your man.
Mm-hmm. And like, so do you have anything on 285?
No.
Okay. My next one, if I can find it, where'd it go? If I had my tabs. Okay. It's 288.
That's my next one too.
Okay.
But mine is literally just the last sentence.
Mine's just a couple, like, it's the same thing. Okay. So
you can read it.
So it goes, someone stepped in the front of Rune, shielding her from Cressida. Seraphine. You will heed me? Her voice was like a clap of thunder. Heed you? Cressida cackled. For all I know, you're in league with her. The voices seemed a world away. This is just because, like, Rune was being, like, whipped to death, basically, by Cressida. And then here's the last, like, 2 sentences. Just before the darkness claimed her, she heard Seraphine say, you will heed me, my queen, because Rune is your sister.
I totally understand why Seraphine said that to save Rune's life, but she's literally only putting off her death for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because Cressida still needs her to die in
She
order to wake her sisters.
Yes, and so like I
So she's
think
literally just putting off her death for a little bit
yeah,
longer.
yeah, and so when I read that I was like, no way Seraphine
Just
just
spilled the
one
secret.
spilled the secret. But the thing is like Rune didn't know.
Yeah.
She thought it was like
No, she
she
knew
had
it was her.
see. No, I thought she didn't
No,
find
she
out.
knew it
And
was her because
oh
because she was thinking, oh, what if Gideon finds out that it's me? But he did not knowing that he already knew that it was her.
yes, but that
Yeah.
that I yeah. You're right. Oh yeah, and then Juniper and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, when's your next one?
298.
Okay. Okay, go.
Okay. His pulse pounded in his ears as he waited for the gun to fire, but no gunshot rang out. Instead, the hood came up over his head and sunlight flooded his eyes. Gideon blinked, trying to clear it. Layla? She was in a uniform, looking like she hadn't slept or changed in days. In her hand was a ring of iron keys. What's going on? You owe me one. She stepped closer and slid a key into the lock of his manacles. After a quick turn and a click, the chains dropped to the ground. I was like, because everybody at this point, everybody is mad at him because he
Mm-hmm.
fell in love with Rune.
Yep.
And they are literally, like, he is literally waiting to get executed. But
Mm-hmm.
Layla still cares about him. And I was so relieved because I was like, how's he gonna get out of this? Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's literally locked up, about to be shot.
Yep.
But at least he has one person still on his side who isn't Rune.
Mm-hmm.
My next
Which
one,
make
oh, sorry, go ahead.
just talking about it and stuff, like it warms my heart that Layla like still cares about Gideon. And I
Yeah,
think it's because like deep down she knows right from wrong. Like deep down
yes.
she knows that like
What they're
this whole
doing isn't
war,
right. Yes.
yes, and this whole war is just like not something that should like be a thing
Yeah.
at all.
Because, yes, there are some witches like Cressida who are horrible, but they are not all like that. Rune coexisted with them for years before they
Mm-hmm.
figured out who she was.
Yep.
And nobody suspected it.
Mm-mm.
Like, not even a little bit.
And that's the thing. It's like this whole thing, right? Alex, kind soul, like he definitely knew right from wrong and
Yes.
everything. And when she was like, Alex is gonna turn me in, I'm gonna be dead, like
Yeah.
I'm cooked, and then Alex didn't care. Alex
Yeah.
was like, no, like your
He's like,
secret's safe
alright,
with
cool.
me. He was like, okay, like what do I have to do to,
Right?
hide you
Yeah. How do I
or
help
whatever?
you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Layla and stuff, like the old good commander and Noah and stuff. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't like you. Don't like you at all.
Yeah.
But that's just me. That's my opinion.
I agree. Okay. My next one starts at the bottom of 300 into 301.
Okay.
Rune was supposed to stop this from happening. She'd promised him. This alliance was predicted on Soren marrying Rune. If Soren's army was there, blitzing the hell out of them, Rune hadn't called off the wedding after all. Or worse, she'd already married to him. It was a blow to Gideon's heart. Was he an idiot? Had this been Rune's plan all along? No, Gideon scattered his doubts. She wouldn't do this. He believed that. But if Rune had kept their part of the bargain, or worse, been forced to keep it, Gideon, whispered Layla, we need to go now. Layla was right. After Soren's army took the harbor front, which was seconds from happening, they would sweep outward into the city. Gideon let her drag him away. Together they ran. Behind them, smoke choked the sky as the harbor burned. I was like, boy, don't be starting on your bullshit again. You
Mm-hmm.
know that she wouldn't do that. You know that she loves you and that you love her. Like,
Just admit it.
just time out. Think about it. Okay, like, you're gonna be fine.
Yes.
Like,
Well, it makes me so mad. And I don't know if it makes me mad or it just like hurts my soul because when you get farther and stuff, um, and you get Rune's side of the side of
yeah,
everything, you're just like you're so mad and like just like the pain and hurt. You're like, oh my God,
yeah,
how is this gonna turn out? Because with this that whole sentence of like, oh, like why she didn't keep her promise, blah 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 blah
yes,
blah, and then for it to be like, no, I did keep my promise, but I've been fucking passed out for how many
yeah,
days?
right?
Ugh,
Yeah,
yeah, it makes me so. It irks my gears, grinds my gears.
grind your gears. Yeah, same.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my next one is 315 to 316.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Rune followed her gaze to the doors she'd just come through, still shut. She could not be standing here the next time those doors opened. She needed to go. Now. She turned to head for the kitchens when Juniper whispered, I thought Harrow was dead. Harrow. The name jolted Rune. It wasn't a common name. What were the chances that Harrow What were the chances the Harrow kneeling before Cressida was Gideon's friend? Then the soldiers brought her in, and Rune, I have to save her. If Harrow was the commander's spy master, she would be sent to the interrogation rooms for sure. They would try to break her. She was too valuable for them not to. Go, now. Every second you remain here is a risk. Rune clenched and unclenched her hands, still staring down the hall towards the kitchens. I wish I could help you, Juniper, but I can't. Rune wasn't about to risk her life trying to rescue an enemy who wouldn't do the same if their positions were reversed. Besides, Harrow was as good as dead. There was nothing Rune could do to change that. An old fear had woken up in her. Like a serpent, it coiled around her heart, choking up anything that might prevent her survival. She turned on her heel and started walking away, heading for a door she knew led to the servant quarters. You're the Crimson Moth, Juniper called after her. Saving people is what you do. Not anymore. She's friends with the Bloodguard captain, said Juniper more quietly. She'll know where Gideon is. If Cressida finds out his location. That made Rune stop. Because of course that's what Cressida would use Harrow for. You think you can protect him from me? Cressida had told her. Once I have my throne, the first thing I intend to do is hunt Gideon down. Rune knew what would happen if Gideon fell into Cressida's hands. If he's still alive. The thought squeezed her heart. And if he is alive? Fine, she growled, spinning to face Juniper. A plan, a stupid, dangerous plan, was forming in her mind. This would be her last rescue. After that, no more. I'll save this girl for you, and for Gideon. But I need something from you in exchange. Juniper palmed the tears from her cheeks. Anything. When they ask you where I am, you tell them you haven't seen me. You have no idea where I went. Got it? Juniper nodded. Yes, she breathed. Of course. Rune stepped back. Leave the rest to me. Like, the only reason that Juniper wants her Rune to save Harrow is because they used to be lovers.
11.
But they don't know either. Like, neither of them knows that the other is still around.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, the
Yep.
only reason that Rune is doing it is because she doesn't want Gideon to end up in Cressida's hands again. But she doesn't even know if he's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
She's just doing this out of her own good faith.
Yep. Because she's like, forget, like at this point, she's like, for Gideon, for Gideon, for Gideon,
Yeah.
for Gideon. So I'm just like, girl, like,
Yeah.
fate be damned. Fate
Right?
be damned.
Yeah.
My thing was okay. It's 319.
Okay.
So this is basically just to give you like a little bit of like information. So Soren, the guy that Rune's supposed to be marrying Soren, and she ends up running into Soren, and Rune's like, I can't marry you, like, I don't want to marry you, here's what's
Yeah.
happened, this is who I am, XYZ. Um, and he didn't like her saying, like, bye-bye, like, this isn't happening.
Yeah.
So he ends up, like, assaulting her. And here's the last couple sentences and stuff. I always get what I'm owed, he said. The pungent smell of him was everywhere. His touch made her want to curl up into a ball. She felt sick, knowing that he was what he was about to do. Stop him. But how? He was bigger, stronger. She had no way to cast a spell. He's a soldier. He'll be armed. She glanced at his hip. Sure enough, there was a pistol holstered there. As more fabric ripped and Soren lost himself into his lust and rage, Rune reached for the gun. She turned off the safety and cocked it. Gideon's voice flooded through her, calming her, helping her focus. If someone tries to hurt you, and there's no other way to stop them, don't think twice. Just shoot. Got it? Lifting the gun to Soren's head, Rune fired. And that is why that whole sentence, when you were reading it and like he gave her the gun, and I read that, when I read that, I was like, oh my god, yes, 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 yes. And then of course, like the next page and stuff is just talking about. Do you have anything tabbed on that page?
No.
It's just talking about like him.
He
dying.
did.
He did. He gone.
He gone.
He did. He gone. Bye bye. And then this is where I stopped reading because I realized I was
reading a little too far ahead.
Maybe. I might have been sucked into the book to realize how far I got.
Yeah.
Oopsies.
It happens.
I was so shocked when that happened. I was like, and then I was like, oh, it's the end of the chapter. And I was like, it's the end of the last 15 chapters.
I read a little too far ahead.
Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsies.
Okay. My next one is on 324.
324. All right, go ahead.
It's towards the bottom. I was wrong about you, said Harrow, watching Rune tack the second horse. It almost sounded like an apology. Harrow finally realizing that Rune might actually be a good person and not be the terrible person that everybody thinks that she is. Crazy.
And the thing is like, I think, and this is like my opinion on Harrow. Like, I was so wishy-washy with her. I didn't know if I liked her or if I hated her. Just because of like how she was acting, how stubborn she is, and how she's like, witches are evil, witches, blah, blah, blah. Understanding now that Juniper, like, she loved Juniper, and like her being betrayed and this, that, the other, and like, just like having a mindset of like, oh, Juniper's such a bad person,
getting
when in
the
reality,
full story of getting everybody's full side of the story. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's understandable, and it makes me feel for Harrow because I'm like, oh, like, you felt betrayed because you thought like you were betrayed.
Yeah.
In reality, Juniper's been a freaking slave for years now.
Mm-hmm.
And it, which makes me feel bad for Harrow because she doesn't know, and it makes me feel bad for Juniper because she doesn't
like
know.
I said, neither of them knew that the other one was still alive.
Yep, exactly. So I don't think I have anything till...
My next one is 336. Take Miss Winters out back and shoot her, Noah told his sister. I'll deal with the witch's whore. Something red hot burst to life in Rune. How dare he call Gideon that? Girl, not him being called the witch's whore. Like, I understand that Gideon went through whatever he went through before with Cressida.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that this is the same thing.
Exactly. And the thing is like, if that was me and being like, oh, you're called the witch's whore, and then actually, but like actually knowing the truth of like what Gideon was forced to do. I mean,
Yes.
she literally sacrificed, like Rune literally sacrificed her entire like body, like she like
She sacrificed her literal whole life for him.
mm-hmm. And like, and the thing is like he does not find that out until way, way
Right.
later. And the thing is like that whole like lashing and the torture that she got from Cressida, I think literally changed Rune's arc. Like
Yeah.
that scarred her legitimately for life.
Yeah.
And like the mental battle that Rune has like goes through in the last how many chapters of this book, it just like rips your soul apart over and
Yeah.
over and over again, because you're just like, oh my god, like this girl does not deserve it, because Rune is known as like a very pretty, very like a
Very
girl that
pretty, very
any
proper, very polite. Yes. She had lots of suitors, even though she wanted none of them except for Gideon, but what ifs.
mm-hmm,
Even though she didn't
whatever.
even really want Gideon at first, it was all just part of
No.
the game.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh,
Until and
these books make me so angry.
yeah. Well, the thing is like she was friends with Alex, but she was always friends with Alex. She liked Gideon. And
Yeah.
Gideon always enticed her, like always like grabbed her attention, because he didn't want anything to do with her.
Yeah.
But we knew deep down and stuff, it was because he had a crush on her and he liked
Yeah.
her. So it's just like
Yep.
because of about the like when they were kids, like how they met and everything.
Yeah.
So it's just like like Gideon always thought like, oh, this beautiful, beautiful girl, like I'm never
She
deserved
could
for
never have anything to do with somebody like me.
woe
Give
is
it
me,
a
woe is me.
rest. Give it a rest, boy.
Like she literally is friends with your brother.
Yeah.
Ugh. These two books, I don't know.
They piss me off so much.
They piss
They are
me off, and
so good, but they piss me off.
yes, they live rent free in my head like crazy. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how many times sometimes I'll be having dreams, and like I'm in the book. Like certain
Yeah.
things happen, and then it's like not like nothing that has happened actually in the book, but like I'm in the
Yeah.
book, like I'm in that time zone and
Yeah.
stuff, and like certain people who are like Rune or Gideon and stuff are like certain people in my life, and I'm like, what is reality? What is reality right now?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go.
My next one is 339.
339.
Chapter 59.
Okay.
I just went through two different accents right there, and I don't even know. Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
You would have gone down in history as a hero, said Noah as Felix and the other soldiers wrestled Gideon into his chains. Instead, you fell in love with a witch. She was always out of your league, Sharp. Gideon suddenly remembered the way Noah used to look at Rune from across a ballroom or an opera box, the way his eyes tracked her. He wanted her, Gideon realized. He remembered the things Noah had said about Rune at Alex's card game months ago. Ugly things meant to hurt her reputation, to punish her for rejecting him. It all suddenly made sense. Is that what really bothers you? That I fell in love with her? Gideon growled as they tried to lock the manacles around his wrists. Or is it that she loved me back? Noah's mouth twisted in a scowl. You don't want her dead because she's a witch, said Gideon. You want her dead because she didn't want you. Noah stepped closer, raising his gun, silently telling Gideon to cooperate with his captors. Soon she won't want you either, since she'll be 6 feet underground. The thought of Rune dead made Gideon's heart turn to stone, but he'd heard no gunshot. That meant she was still alive, for now. He struggled harder against the soldiers trying to subdue him, but it was 4 against 1, and despite his efforts, the manacles clicked, locking his wrists behind his back. How was he supposed to get to her, chained as he was, with so many armed soldiers intent on preventing him? Runa's resilient. She'll find a way to survive. She had to. Bro. Like
Like
he's
I,
he He literally has no concern for himself. He is just concerned for her.
And that's the thing.
He's like, how am I going to get out of this and go save her? Like, how am I supposed to save her when I am literally locked up?
And like that's the thing. It's like and the thing is for him to openly now be like, I'm in love with her, and like everybody starts to be like, you fell in love with the witch, you fell in love with the witch, blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah, and he's like, yeah, I did. And what are you gonna do about it?
So what exactly?
Like, okay. He's like, I'll do anything to make sure she's alive. And I'm just like, Gideon, where is this man in real life?
But also, why couldn't he have realized this like so long before, and this wouldn't even be an issue right now?
It wouldn't be an issue, but no, it is an issue.
What ifs?
Whatever. Mine is okay. It's 3:45, like kind of 3:44 going into 3:45.
Okay.
Do you have anything before that?
Nope.
Okay. So basically, it's she blurred before him. Gideon pressed his hand to the trunk of the tree, steadying himself against the slow spin of the woods. Rune, if I don't make it, why wouldn't you make it? Her voice seemed far away, like he was underwater. Gideon? His legs were trying to decide whether or not to keep holding him up. They decided against it. The earth rushed to meet him. Gideon! And then that takes us into page 346 in chapter 60. So it was just like, he was just like, this, like, what rattled my brain right was this man literally risked his life over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And all Rune is really thinking is like this stubborn guy, like,
yeah.
Like, she's always, I think, because of what Cressida did to her, she is so scared, and like that put so much fear inside of her body that she was just like, doesn't know if she's being lied to or if people are just being truthful with her. Like, she just feels like that towards everybody now, and that hurts my soul because she really is like a sweet person. She's a Crimson Moth. The whole thing about her being the Crimson Moth is to save the witches from being murdered.
Yeah.
But
my next one is 346.
Okay, go ahead.
As Gideon collapsed to his hands and knees, Rune caught sight of his coat, which glistened darkly. Rune frowned, looking closer. What? At the sight of the blood, her heart plummeted into her stomach. You absolute idiot. She dropped to her knees, her wrists still bound with rope. Why didn't you tell me they shot you? Gideon just shook his head, his eyes going unfocused. Leave me here. I'm dead weight now. Rune wanted to grab his shoulders and shake and shout the sense back into him. If you think I'm leaving you in the woods of Wintersea to die, you're dumber than a stump. That cracked me up.
Yes. Like, just like the funniest thing is like the humor that they have with each other, but it's not like it was humor. It's humorous at that time. It's humorous if like other people were watching it. Like, oh, you're dumber than a stump.
Us reading it,
like,
if you think I'm leaving here, then you're dumber than a stump.
Dumber than a stump. Like, yeah, like, and you're just like, oh my god. Yeah. And okay, so mine. Do you still have more? Because mine.
Nope. That was it for me.
Okay, mine's like going into this 346 into 347 and stuff. Is he glanced up at her. Even in the dark, she sensed his confusion. I need your blood. Oh, he nodded. Go ahead. And then, another horse whinnied, and Rune paused to listen before turning back to Gideon, hoping she remembered the spell marks accurately. She drew them on his skin, a cumbersome task with her hands tied. When nothing happened, she assumed the spell had failed. So, two feelings, right? 346. He's like, oh, he nodded. Go ahead. If he didn't love Rune, and then she didn't,
he would not have let her do that.
And then that's why I'm thinking, I'm like, Rune, open your eyes, because But it's like, okay, maybe it's because she thinks she's in panic mode right now. yeah, she's in panic mode. And then that's why, like, and then the last sentence, like, when nothing happened, she assumed the spell had failed. And then it goes and says, like, magic rush, yada, yada, yada. Like,
Yeah.
she doubts herself so much. And just to
Yes.
see, like, her be this confident person and then just start doubting everything that she does is
Yeah.
so sad. It's so
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's what I had.
Okay. My next one is not for a little bit. It's 362.
Okay. I think the only thing I had was okay. Mine is 359.
Okay.
So this is Bess talking to Rune. Bess is like she's like a maid for one of his name's Antonio.
Yeah.
Yeah. And stuff like they're like together. Not to, I don't know if they're together, but like they're on the
Yeah.
same
They're.
Bess and yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it says the maid led Rune to a bedroom in the guest quarters, where she touched the white nightgown laid out on the bed. This was Miss Celia's, she said. You'll find more of her clothes in the armoire. Help yourself to them. She won't mind. My mistress hasn't set foot in here since her wedding 3 years ago. um, and then it just talks about like this like no one wanted to risk anything, yada yada yada. And then Ruin asks Bess one more thing. So she goes, "There's one more thing." She turned to look at Bess. "Do you happen to know the schedule for the nearest train station? I can fetch it for you, but there are rumors, miss. People are saying Westport Station will soon be shut down. The Queen doesn't want anyone else escaping." Ruin narrowed her eyes. Of course she doesn't. In that case, Ruin reached out into her dress pocket and pulled out the pouch full of coins. She taken from her she had taken, sorry, geesh, from her casting room. "Could you buy me a ticket for whichever train is going furthest northeast while it's still operating?" Bess blinked as Room placed the pouch in her hand. "Of course, miss. I'd be happy to." And I'm like, so like these like basically like this whole page and stuff, I was like so frustrated and I was just like, so Rune's going to run away.
Yeah.
Like she's so upset. She's like not upset. Like she's so conflicted and she's so set on I'm running away. I'm running away. I'm running away.
Yeah.
That she's like she's making I mean we'll find this out later, but she's making these tiny mistakes or like these tiny like wrong choices
Yeah.
because she's so scared.
Yeah.
And like you can see like when it says like the reaction Bess had of like Bess literally tried to tell her like, "Hey, it's gonna be shut
Might not be a
down.
good idea. And she's like, "Here you go."
Here you go. Buy me a ticket. I'm leaving.
Right?
I'm running away from this."
Yeah.
Ooh, and it made like and then a couple pages and stuff. That is when I like oh I gotta find it. But it was when I like took my book and I was like,
Okay.
okay,
362 is my next one.
okay, go.
They were in unfamiliar territory, and Gideon had no map to navigate the rocky terrain. Antonio reached over, touching him lightly on the wrist. Gideon looked up to find Bart gone, taking the list of names with him. "Where did he go?" "To bed. I'm heading there in a moment, but I wanted to ask if everything is all right." Gideon glanced down, staring at a wet stain on the table from the bottom of Bart's whiskey glass. "I was too harsh with her tonight." Antonio withdrew his hand, waiting for the rest. "I think someone broke her." "Ah," said Antonio, leaning back and folding his hands on the table. "Anything else?" Gideon glanced up. "I'm afraid I won't be able to put her back together." "You can't put her back together. Only she can do that." It wasn't at all what Gideon wanted to hear. He frowned at Antonio's shadowed face. "And if I lose her in the meantime?" Antonio's eyes softened. "Love is patient, Gideon." He clenched his fists. "So should I stand back and do nothing?" Taking the bottle of whiskey, Antonio uncorked it and poured some into the empty glass in front of him. Not nothing. Taking a sip, he said, "You could start by being less afraid." It was what Gideon had accused Rune of, being afraid. You could try to trust instead, trusting not only her, but yourself. Gideon stared at the former acolyte. This conversation isn't making me feel better. Like, just listen to him. He knows what he's
Like,
talking about.
yeah, like the whole sentence and stuff is like, you can't put her back together, only she can do that. I'm like this humble, humble guy. Like,
Yeah.
and the thing is like, it makes me feel like Bess and Antonio, like, towards the end of the book, like, we didn't, like, these people weren't
No,
important at
Antonio's
all
with
throughout
Bart.
the,
Remember?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, they, like, they really didn't have, like, a big importance, I would say, throughout this book until now.
Yeah. You don't even know who they are until now.
Mm-hmm.
But their
And so,
small role plays so big into later on.
yep, yep, exactly. Because, like, do you have anything on the next pages?
365.
365. Okay, go ahead.
Had soldiers followed her here? Was this a trap? Stepping past her, Gideon touched the gun holstered at his hip, ready to draw if necessary. Her spell told me to come here, came a feminine voice. To this house. Is she all right? Gideon watched as Seraphine Oakes entered the salon. At the sight of each other, both witch and witch hunter froze. Brune did as I asked. She'd summoned Seraphine. He dropped his hands from his gun. You. Harrow spat the word from beside him. Before he realized what was happening, she'd grabbed his gun and pointed it at Seraphine. No, not Seraphine. There was another girl on Seraphine's heels, one he hadn't seen until now. Wait. He stepped towards Harrow. This was the last thing he needed here, where he'd planned to broker peace between enemies, not spark a bloodbath. Do you know who this is? Harrow hissed, darting out of Gideon's reach. She spoke to him without taking her eyes off the girl. Juniper. Her parents locked me in their cellar and left me to starve. Juniper let them. She left me to die. Gideon glanced from Harrow to the witch at Seraphine's side. The girl's long hair was braided over one shoulder, and her brown eyes shone at Harrow. Juniper. The girl Harrow loved. Give me one good reason I shouldn't shoot you right here, Harrow demanded. Juniper didn't even try to defend herself. Like, the fact that Juniper didn't even do anything to defend herself obviously, like, still shows that she obviously cares about Harrow. Whether Harrow
Mm-hmm.
believes that or not, there's still more pieces to the story that are missing on Harrow's end.
Yep.
But the fact that Juniper's not doing anything to defend herself should be a big, huge clue to Harrow. But it's not.
Yep.
I
And
mean,
the
it
thing
is,
is
but
like,
it's not.
yeah. And then, so my next one is 366. And so basically, I think it's 366. Oh, yeah, right here. So Gideon raised a brow, glancing to his friend. Harrow had been captured, and Ruin had rescued her. An interesting twist. You owe Juniper your life. You're lying, said Harrow, still holding her knife aloft and pointed at Gideon with one hand while the other aimed the gun at the witches. I wish I were, Ruin narrowed her eyes. Clearly, you didn't deserve it. And I'm just like, Harrow. I don't think Ruin has really ever lied to Harrow. Like,
Yeah.
you
No.
know what I mean? Like, Rune's just been like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, been herself. And when Rune is like protecting Juniper, like, you're seeing like the small bits and pieces of Rune being the Crimson Moth, being like,
Yeah.
you don't deserve it, but she begged me
Yes.
to save you,
Yeah.
and I saved you, and
Like,
I'm
literally,
saving
if
her.
it wasn't for Juniper, I don't think that she would have had that thought of Harrow could spill something about where Gideon is and put Gideon in danger.
Mm-hmm.
And Rune would have just left.
Yep. Exactly. So that was it, and then the where'd it go? I think I was talking about. Oh, This was like a little bit ahead of what I just read, but seeing her on the wrong side of a gun made Gideon's pulse spike. He moved to intervene. Like, and then when Rune was like, don't, like, I'm good, I got it, boo boo. I
Yeah.
was like, he's a whipped. That woman,
Yes.
he is whipped.
Ugh.
Like, I was like, dang. Do you have anything
Right.
else?
368 and 369.
368. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yep, you know what it is. It had been utterly stupid to go to Gideon's bed last night. Rune was certain he'd been too drugged to remember her climbing under his covers and burrowing into him. That wasn't the problem. The problem was she remembered. She remembered all of it. His heat driving the chill out of her body, the delicious feel of his bare skin against hers, his powerful arms holding her fiercely, tightly, as if she was his, as if nothing could hurt her so as long as he was there. It could be like that every night if you wanted. And she did want that. That was the problem. Rune had woken from a nightmare and found herself alone in the dark. These days, her nightmares were usually about Cressida, but last night it was Nan who walked into her dreams. Her blood guard soldiers dragged her grandmother up the purging platform steps as she screamed for Rune to help her. But the crowd pressed in from all directions, and the more Rune tried to get to her, the more they forced her back, until Nan's screams fell silent. Rune couldn't sleep after that. Every shadow hid a nightmare, and though it was irrational, she wanted Gideon. In a moment of weakness, she went searching for him. She found him sleeping in the bedroom across the hall, along with some tincture on his bed table. Giving it a sniff, Rune recognized the smell of a sleeping draught. It was a mistake, and she regretted it. She couldn't let it happen again. She needed to tear herself away before Cressida found them. It was only a matter of time. There were two choices. Had Gideon ripped away from her, or leave before he could be? No, there's a third choice. You could ask him to come with you. She shook that thought away. Girl. 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 That's all I have to say. That is all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Is
And
girl.
the thing is yes, okay. So the thing is like my next one is I think it's a couple pages from now. I really wish I had my oh yeah, it's a couple pages down.
What is it? Because mine is on 372.
I think mine is 37 it's like I'd just say probably 377 into 378.
Okay, I have a couple before that.
Okay.
Okay. Gideon planted his hands on the table, leaning in as his gaze locked with Seraphine's. If we permanently ensured she can't resurrect Elwyn and Annalise, would that help? It would be a start. There's a long lost heir, right? Said Harrow, leaning her chair back so it balanced on only two legs. A sibling Cressida needs to do the resurrecting. If we found and killed them, it would put an end to her resurrection plans. Seraphine tensed. Juniper reached for Rune's hand beneath the table. Rune stared into her coffee, a chill sweeping through her as she remembered Gideon's plans to hunt down the missing Roseblood. There hadn't been enough time to tell Gideon the truth, and even if there had been, Rune wasn't sure she wanted him to know. If he knew it was me, what would he think? Girl.
I know. Cuz I'm like you guys are so dense. You two are so
First of all, he
dense.
already knows.
Knows.
Second of all, obviously she don't know that yet, but second of all, do you really think the man that loves you would judge you for that? Do you really think that he would turn you in? Clearly not if he hasn't done it yet.
He hasn't done it yet, and he has proven to her over and over and over and over again that he loves her.
Yes. But, girl.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
my next one is 374 into 375.
Okay, go.
Seraphine studied Rune with her onyx eyes. You're right, but if there's a chance. You were supposed to be gone, said Gideon from across the table, pinning Rune with his heated gaze. And yet here you are. Anger ignited in her chest. Rune wanted to say she didn't have a choice. Cressida had tortured her and dragged her back, but the thought of Cressida brought back the sting of the whip and that bone-deep fear. You want to run away? He said. Go. No one is stopping you. The words stung. He glared at her, as if he no longer cared whether she was here or not, as if her doubts annoyed him, as if she annoyed him. And then on to 375. Rune couldn't help but notice the way Abby looked at Gideon, like she believed in him, like she would follow him into hell if only he asked. It was this that made Rune push away from the table and flee. She wanted to look at Gideon like that, wanted to believe in him like that, to trust he could deliver them from this. But she didn't believe it. She couldn't.
And that's where her stubbornness and her fear and everything literally has been like rattling her for the past how many chapters now, and it's
for the
so
past 2
frustrating
books.
Yes, that is true, and you're just like, Rune Winters, you stubborn child.
Yes.
All right. So my next one is on 377. So it goes, where's Rune? Bess, bringing out more coffee, poured some onto Ash's cup and said, I saw her riding into the headlands. There's a lot of hot springs out there. I told her the heat would do those wounds of hers some good. Gideon frowned, remembering the scar he'd seen on her neck. What wounds? Bess startled, missing Ash's cup and spilling coffee on the tablecloth. Oh, I assumed you knew. She shook her head. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said anything. Gideon was about to press her when Juniper said quietly, Rune's back was flayed to the bone. His temperature spiked. What? Bess nodded, clearly relieved to no longer be the one who was revealing Rune's secret. I saw the marks this morning when she asked for help dressing. Flayed to the bone? Who? Cressida whipped her within an inch of her life, said Juniper. Everyone turned to stare at her. It took all of my skill to stop the bleeding, she added. She was in and out of consciousness for days. She was in a sickbed for the entire voyage back to the island. She didn't tell any of you this? Gideon's fist clenched beneath the table. Seraphine frowned at Gideon. Rune defied Cressida, knowing what would happen. She did it to break your curse, to break my... He thought of his dream. Of Rune climbing into his bed, her softness and warmth nestled against him. It wasn't a dream. Cressida was going to kill her, Seraphine said. The only reason she didn't is because I gave her what she wanted, the name of the missing Roseblood heir. Gideon's head spun. Cressida knows Rune is her sister. Who else knew? Seraphine wouldn't state it outright, not here, because it would put Rune's life at risk. But if Rune ended up back in Cress's hands, he pushed out his chair and rose for his feet. Where's this hot spring? Reading this now, I think this right here, right then and there, was like, oh, not that he fucked up, but he was like, oh, I gotta fix this. I gotta fix this right freaking now.
Yeah.
Because he cares for her so much, and it makes everything make sense on why she didn't want, knowing Rune, right? Knowing Rune from when Rune was such a young girl, she always thought she's always been this beauty of the town, the pretty girl, this, that, the other.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why she doesn't he was she didn't want him looking at her, touching her, this, that, the other. So,
yeah.
All right.
My next one is 381.
Go ahead. I think mine's 381 as well, but it's probably the same thing.
Probably. Well, 380 into 381. Yeah. He lowered his mouth to a scar on her shoulder, kissing the raised skin. A breath escaped her. He kissed another scar, and the tension left her body. You are the kindest, cleverest, bravest girl I've ever met. He kissed more and more scars, tracing them gently with his mouth. These scars are only further proof of that. No pain flared. He was touching her without consequence. His curse was broken, and here was the cost. Rune in pain, her courage in tatters. She could have killed you. Pulling her closer, he pressed his cheek against the crown of her head. Why would you risk yourself? Because I couldn't stand the thought of her making you suffer. Rune's hand lifted to his arm, skimming down to his hand where she linked her fingers with his, and because, still facing away from him, she turned her head so her temple grazed his jaw, nuzzling him. Because I was stupid enough to fall in love with a witch hunter, stupid enough to hope he might love me back, and if he did, I wasn't going to let anything come between us again. Finally!
She admitted it.
Finally!
She admitted it. Finally, she admitted it. She admitted it. She admitted it.
Finally! Took her... That's how far into the book it was. Took her most of the book to finally admit it.
Yeah.
Like, she's so stupid sometimes.
Yeah, she's kind of stupid. She's kind of stupid. Yeah.
Okay.
My next thing is...
My next one is 384.
No, mine's a couple pages after that, but go ahead.
Okay. And if you're wrong, she demanded, what if everything that's broken can't be restored? What if it can? She pulled free of his grasp. She'll kill us both. Gideon stared at her. Then it will be an honor to die at your side. I was like,
Tis, 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 tis. But yeah, I was like, oh my god, you are such, like, head over heels for this woman.
Yes.
Mine is basically, okay, so it's 388.
Okay.
To give a context and stuff, because like when I'm saying, like, there's so much going on in each page.
Yeah.
So to give some context, the station, that what we talked about when the station was going to be, like, not a good thing to go. Harold told Gideon, hey, like, there's, bloodhounds and stuff, like searching for Rune specifically, so Cressida can, capture Rune.
Yeah.
And Gideon decides to go and, like, follow her until she's safe and on the station or whatever. So
yeah.
Westport Station was in chaos when Gideon arrived. He wore a brown traveling suit loaned to him by Bart, who argued it would help Gideon blend in. No one would be looking for Captain Gideon Sharp in a suit. With Ash's pistols tucked in his belt and an extra box of bullets in his pockets, Gideon took up a position against the station's brick wall, making sure the brim of Bart's wool cap kept his face in shadow as he scanned the chaotic crowd pushing toward the only train on the tracks. He quickly learned the source of the chaos. The station is stuttering at sundown by order of the Queen's, who was hunting a rogue witch rumored to be the Crimson Moth. By closing down all nearby stations, Cressida hoped to prevent her prey from getting further afield. The train sitting on the tracks was the last one leaving, possibly forever, if this war tore their country apart, which meant Rune needed to be on it if she wanted to get out tonight. He spotted her almost immediately, or rather, he spotted a version of her. She altered her appearance, like she had on the Arcadia. Instead of strawberry blonde, Rune's hair was a pale gold of wheat, braided down her back. So I'm just like just reading this, right? I was very upset because I was like, okay, I get that it was going to be packed and everybody was leaving and everything.
Yeah.
However, you're going to go and risk your own life after Rune has saved you time and time and time again to save her life that she doesn't know. And it's just like, bro, can you guys just have like a sit down conversation and be like, I love you. I love you. Like, let's protect each other. Yada, yada, yada.
Please. That
but
is
no,
exactly
they're stubborn.
What they need. Yes.
Stubborn.
So stubborn.
Okay. What's your
My
next one?
next one is not until 397.
Okay. So mine is. Where'd it go? Okay, so mine's 396. It's just a couple sentences.
Okay.
Rune's illusion gone. Rune's illusion was gone. In the light of the setting sun, the wind whipped her red gold hair free of its braid, and her eyes were thunderous as she lowered the smoking pistol. Her cheeks were red, her skin shone with sweat, and her chest heaved as if she'd run hard all the way here, desperate to get to him in time. He'd never seen a more beautiful sight, or or a more furious one. What the hell, Gideon? I read that and I was like, oh
Yep.
my god.
Yep.
You like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Okay. Mine is literally just on the next page. It was as the train was pulling away from the platform that Rune saw him out there in the rail yard. Gideon, dressed in a fancy riding suit, the brim of a wool cap shadowing his face, and a gun pressed between his shoulder blades. Something ferocious roared to life inside her. But the train was leaving the station, and with it her last chance to get out. Rue knew what it would cost her to get off, and suddenly it didn't matter. None of it mattered except this. She had to shove past the passengers blocking her way down the aisle, and then screamed like a lunatic until the staff opened the door for her, and then she jumped, from a moving train, onto the platform. She felt her world collapsing in on itself as the train left the station, and she ran across the rail yard, not knowing if she'd get to him in time. She'd run harder than she'd ever run in her life. Ran until her lungs burned and her legs screamed, and then ran even harder. And now here he was, sprawled across the train tracks, his hands in the dirt, that ridiculous wool cap knocked from his head. Alive. The girl just gave up her only chance to get out of there to go save his stupid ass.
Yeah. And so, like, I was just like, can you guys just, like, I don't know,
Just get it together.
fight, get it together, fight,
Just
and then
get it
make up,
together.
like, Jesus. And my next one is, okay, 403.
403.
Mm-hmm.
My next one is 402 into 403. Together, they stumbled into the dark car, windswept and breathing hard. The train rattled and clinked. Marin pressed her palm to the wall of the cramped hallway as it lurched onto its tracks, trying to keep her balance, trying to catch her breath. When she glanced at Gideon, she found him leaning against the opposite wall, staring at her. Through the windows, the sun was almost below the horizon. Rune gazed at this mountain of a boy, the one who'd risked his life alongside her. A boy who'd proven, again and again, that they were better together than apart. Why in the world had she left him? Because I'm afraid of losing him. Except running away meant losing him, voluntarily. What had she been thinking? Rune never should have asked him to leave with her. In doing so, she'd asked him to go against his conscience, his goodness. She knew perfectly well what it would have cost Gideon to accept her offer, and she'd asked him anyway. It was like Rune had changed places with Alex, who had begged her to run away, and in doing so, proven he hadn't really known her at all. Are you all right? He asked, breaking the silence. Rune barely heard his question. She was remembering the other train pulling out of the station, remembering her reflection in the glass. Go ahead.
Okay. You asked me once if I wanted children, she said. He tilted his head as if this was the last thing he expected her to say. I want 3. Ruin had seen them that day in the yellow house while bullets whizzed over her and Gideon's heads. 3 little ones laughing as they ran through a field of wildflowers. She had known immediately they were Gideon's, but this evening, while studying her reflection in the train window, she realized they were also hers. She'd seen their features in her face. Ruin was scared to even hope for it. A family of her own. People to belong to. She didn't know if it was a true vision or a fanatical thinking. All she knew is she wanted it, wanted them. But in order to have them, she had to stay. Gideon ran a hand through his dark hair, glancing to the window. "This train is going south," he said. "That means the next station is a few hours away. We can get off in the yard, and I can help you hop on another one. Or we can find a harbor that hasn't been infiltrated and get you on a boat." She frowned. That wasn't exactly the response she hoped for. "Gideon, I just said you want a family one day." He dragged his attention away from the window, fixing it on her. The look on his face seemed sad. "I understand. That's why you want to escape." "No," Rune stepped toward him, shaking her head. "I mean, yes, but—" She reached for his lapels, gripping them with both hands, anchoring herself to him against the train's jolt. "I'm offering you terms, Gideon." Okay, you can go.
He frowned at her, confused. "Do you still want me to stay?" Lifting a hand to her hair, he tucked a wild strand behind her ear. "More than anything. There's something I want too, something that would make me stay." He was watching her closely now. "I'm listening." She lowered her gaze to his throat, suddenly feeling uncertain. What if he didn't want the same thing? "Sometimes," she said, staring hard at the collar of his jacket, "I fantasize about being your wife." Let me just let me just pause real fast. Let me just pause real fast right here, okay? Sometimes I fantasize about being your wife. Girl, just come out and tell him that you love him and you want to be his wife.
Yes, I'm like, bruh, you're literally beating around the bush. You need to be blunt.
Sometimes
You
I
need to be
fantasize.
blunt.
Girl, shut up. Anyways,
Yes.
let me continue.
Okay.
His, I can't. His eyebrows shot toward his forehead. "Really?" he grinned, clearly pleased. "Your fantasies are a lot more wholesome then." The grin slid away. "Wait, what are you saying?" He pressed his thumb to her chin, forcing her gaze back to his. "I want to be your wife, Gideon." The pulse in his throat kicked. "And these children you also want? They're our children?" "I'm pretty sure that's how it works, yes." More quietly, she said, "Is that all right?" Gideon plunged his fingers into her hair. "All right." He pressed his forehead to hers. "Rune, being married to you would be the honor of my life. You're saying you'll stay and fight if I marry you?" "More or less." She ran a hand up his chest to rest against his heart. Is that extortion?" His mouth curved. "I'll happily be extorted by you." This whole conversation. I can't.
Yes, and I was like, oh my God, finally, like they are like basically telling each other like, I want to be with you, and like, hey,
Yes.
I want to be with you, and I'm just like, yes, finally,
It's the sometimes
finally.
I fantasize about being your wife for me.
It's the I'll happily be extorted by you for me. I'm just like, that's so hilarious. And then I
Oh.
really don't have anything because for the next couple pages because it just kind of gets spicy.
Yeah. My
It gets a
next
little
thing isn't
spicy.
until 4:23.
Yeah. 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 Go ahead.
Okay. She glanced at the medallion hanging from Antonio's neck. "Can acolytes officiate weddings?" "In certain circumstances, yes." Antonio cocked his head at her. "Why do you ask?" "Could you marry us when this is over?" He noticed she said when, not if. He didn't point it out, only smiled. "It would be an honor." I was like, good.
Rune's back. Rune is back.
What's your next one?
My next one is okay. It's 431 into 432.
Okay.
It's just like something that like makes me feel really really sad for some reason.
Yeah.
But all right, Harrow. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Harrow 2 was restrained. A soldier gripped this spy master's hair as they forced her to her knees. "We failed," thought Rune. "I'm sorry, comrade," Harrow's anguished voice echoed over the water. "She made me choose." Rune remembered Harrow's note from 3 nights ago, telling them Cressida was traveling to the crossroads. It was a setup. Rune's thoughts spun faster than the whirlpool. This was why the pair hadn't returned, why Gideon had received only one brief message from Harrow. Juniper had gone to recruit witches to their cause, and someone had ratted her out to the Witch Queen, further using her to compromise Harrow. She had to choose between betraying you or watching Juniper die. Rune realized aloud. She glanced at Gideon, whose expression was a mixture of shock and anger. Cressida would have threatened to kill Jupiter unless Harrow led us into a trap.
Yeah.
And I was just like, literally, that means Harrow just proved to Juniper that she still loves her.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, so sad and sweet, but sad.
Yeah.
What was your next one?
All right, I got 434, 436, and 437.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead.
Yep. All right. Cressida was 10 paces away. She'd be here in seconds. The other witches were fanning out, preparing to surround Gideon and Rune. Beyond them, the soldiers cocked their guns. Cressida raised her arm, about to give the command to fire, to end Gideon. And suddenly, Rune knew there was only one way left to beat her. She thought of Everlasting, a spell with no end. Rune could keep Gideon safe forever with that spell. She thought of everyone who called this island home, people who deserved to be safe. Rune could keep them safe with her life, by giving it up before Cressida could steal it from her. She remembered her dream at the summoning stones, her and Gideon face to face in the dark and the rain. It wasn't rain, she realized now as the mist of the whirlpool soaked them. It wasn't a dream. Her eyes burned with the realization. Bang! The gunshot brought her back to the gorge. Rune turned to Gideon, whose eyes were dark with fear. Try to reach the bridge, he said, still firing. If I keep shooting at them, maybe. He was in denial, refusing to see what was right in front of him. Rune wouldn't even make it to the bridge. And if by some miracle she did, more witches were waiting beyond it, not to mention the soldiers. Gideon. He didn't seem to hear her. Cressida was seconds away. Any moment now, soldiers would shoot him dead, forcing Rune to watch him die. And then Cressida would kill Rune too, resurrecting their sisters and cementing her reign of terror. Alright, on to 436.
Yes.
The first sentence on this page. Placing her hand over his heart, she said, I want you to know, I am so grateful, so lucky to have loved you. Her voice wobbled, even if it was only for a little while. Gideon's jaw clenched. What are... Rune shook her head. The tears prickling her eyes made the sight of him blur. If I have to die, I want to die like this. Rune took his hand and wrapped it around the pistol as she pressed the barrel against her heart. Right here, with you. Gideon stared down in horror at the gun, and his finger on the trigger. No, he said, trying to step away. Rune, you can't ask me. You must. She grabbed a fistful of his shirt, keeping him with her. Her throat heated. Tears trailed down her cheeks. It's the only way now. You know what will happen if you don't. He looked away in disgust, his grip limp on the gun in her hand pointed at her chest. If you don't do it, she will. Rune glanced over her shoulder to see Cressida grinning, like something out of a nightmare. So close, almost here. About to rip them away from each other forever. There's no third option. She'll kill me and use my death to bring about a much bigger nightmare. When she looked back into his face, his eyes shone with tears. It's either you or her, she said. Don't let it be her. If you love me, you won't let it be her. Gideon, please. Her voice broke on that plea. His grip on the gun tightened, so Rune let go. Taking his face in her hands, she pushed up on her toes and kissed him. Hot tears spilled down both their cheeks. It's been an honor, Captain, she whispered against his lips. Gideon let out a soft cry, but he didn't fail her. Pulling the trigger, he sent a bullet straight into her heart. I know.
You know how sad it is? It's very, very sad. And very, very, like, tear-jerking. You're like, no, no.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next one... Or,
wait, 437.
Sorry.
Come on, get it
Go ahead, go ahead. I'm
together.
sorry. This book is just. Okay, go.
Okay. The bang deafened her. Gunpowder burned in her nose. Pain and heat flooded her chest. Just before Rune's legs gave out, Cressida's enraged scream shattered the air. Gideon's arms encircled Rune as he caught her, lowering them both to the ground. The strength of him was everywhere, surrounding her like a comforting blanket as the blood gushed from the cavity in her chest. It surprised her, even now, how both gentleness and strength could be bound up together in one man. She was in his lap, some part of her realized, and the warmth against her cold cheek was his chest, the steady beat beneath his heart. I'm going to miss the sound of your heart, she thought. What have I done? Gideon cried, his entire body trembling. What have I done? You spared me, Rune whispered, touching her blood-soaked fingers to both of his cheeks, drawing a mark on each one. Gideon was so consumed by grief he didn't notice. You spared all of us. Cressida needed Rune's life to resurrect their sisters, and Gideon had stolen it from her. The cold started in her fingers and toes, the chill spreading inward slowly to her core, until Rune knew she'd never be warm again. She closed her eyes, saying a silent goodbye to him and to the life they might have together, saying goodbye to those 3 joyful children she'd never get to meet.
Yes. Hi, Doja girl. I was heartbroken.
Yeah.
And like, it was just like the next couple of pages, I'm just like, oh my god. And
Yeah.
then, what do I call it? Okay, so mine is on 140.
140? You mean 440?
440. Yes, 440. All right, my next one is on 440, and it goes, he remembered the enchantment Rune had once cast on his jacket. It's for repelling harm, she told him. Like armor, the spell marks will deflect a knife aimed at your chest or make bullets bounce off of you. He glanced down at the girl in his arms, her eyes closed forever. Had Rune done this? Cast one last spell of protection somehow? One thing was clear, Cressida couldn't harm him. Setting his beloved down gently, Gideon rose to his feet. Cressida fired 4 more rounds, each of them ricocheted off of him. I was just like,
yeah.
he was so heartbroken. He didn't realize she put all the spell marks on him, and so he's just like, what? Okay, and that's what I have for that one.
Is 445.
445. Okay, go ahead.
Well, and like bottom of 444 into 445.
Okay.
With Rune's knife in both her hands, the ancient lifted the blade high in the air. The queens and commanders of this world may think they know something of power, she said, but true power is divine, and her judgment is final. She plunged the knife straight into Cressida's heart. The witch queen gasped, and the symbols on Rune's skin glowed moon-white, as if joining in with the breath she took, coming alive as wisdom's magic stole Cressida's life force and poured it into Rune. Magic flared, disorienting Gideon and making his teeth ache, building and building until it caused a pressure in his head so painful it felt like it would explode. And then Cressida fell still. The tension lifted. Rune inhaled a sharp breath. She did it. She lived.
Yep. She lived. She's back from the dead. Like, that was like one of the points I wanted to talk about, because I was just like, no way. Like, it would have been amazing to see Gideon actually take Cressida's life. Like, do it, boo boo. But also, this outcome, way better.
Way better. Yep.
Way better. And then, I don't know if you have anything, but mine is kind of towards the end, which makes me, it's just like such a cute little warm heart, like heartwarming kind of thing in the epilogue.
Okay, I have one before that. It is 450.
Okay. Go ahead.
Effective immediately, no one is to be hunted or harmed for being a witch, and all purgings are outlawed. Says who? Shouted some wise-ass 3 tables over. Layla glanced over to find 4 of her soldiers already dealing with him. Says Commander Gideon Sharp, she growled. At Gideon's name, a hush fell over the hall. You have 3 choices before you. She held up her index fingers. You can enlist in the Cascadian Army and begin reporting to Commander Sharp. She held up another finger. You can hand over your uniform and go home. She held up a third. You can be hauled off to prison, where you will spend the rest of your days rotting in a cell next to this piece of shit. She nodded to her brother, cowering on the floor, and shoved him with her foot. Anyone unclear about any of that? No one raised their hands. Perfect. Enjoy your breakfast. Afterward, every one of you will report to the courtyard, where you will receive new instructions or be dismissed. Amidst nervous whispering, the former Blood Guard officers went back to eating, the watchful gazes of Layla's armed battalion looming over them. I was like, that is the, like, yes.
Mm-hmm. I
Yep.
was like, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so my thing was, I gotta find it. Okay. It should be on 454. I literally, this is like making me like not be able to sleep. But, it's, okay. She pouted as he stepped back. These people want to celebrate you. Those words pinched her with guilt. Rune glanced away. What is this really about? Gideon reached for her hand, running the pad of his thumb over the thin scar at the base of her ring finger. There's nothing to fear anymore. All you have to do is be yourself. That's what I'm afraid of. What if I disappoint them, she whispered, avoiding his gaze. What if they don't like the real Rune Winters? He laughed. Beloved. Pausing, and then I'm going to continue. Beloved? Beloved?
Yep.
If someone called me beloved,
You would just melt instantly right then and there.
oh yeah, I'd melt, puddle on the floor, on the floor.
Yeah.
But to hint at like what I was trying to get at is the scar on her finger. Okay, I'm gonna continue. He took her chin between his fingers, trying to drag her gaze up to him. That's not possible. She tugged her chin free and started to retreat, but he grabbed her around the waist and pulled her back, nipping her bare shoulder, then kissing the edge of a scar peeking above her dress. You're the opposite of disappointing. What if I fail them? She weaved her fingers back into his hair. What if none of this works? They keep trying to, then we keep trying and fixing it until it does work. Releasing her waist, he grabbed her hand again, lifted it, and kissed the ring-like scar banded around her second smallest finger, just like everything else. Rune glanced at the matching scar banded across his finger. He has a casting scar on his finger, and she has one on hers.
Yep.
Like, I was just like, oh my god, this is like amazing, because I don't think he ever, like, for you to get a casting scar, and we talked about this before, for you to get a casting scar, you have to accept it. And
Yeah.
they both accepted it. And I'm like,
Yep. Yep.
So that was my little heartwarming last little note. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
And with that, that is the end of Rebel Witch.
A really, really good book. Yes. Really, really good book. Well, that was a lot to endure. That was a lot. That was a lot. And a long, long wait. Sorry. Again, sorry. My fault. My fault. So.
Well, next time,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to be talking about the next book that we're going to read,
Yep.
which you will have to wait to find out until the next episode. We will not reveal the title yet.
Mm-mm.
But it's a really good book. I have read it before, but I'm still going to read it again for this.
Yep. I have not, so you'll get
your raw reactions. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Raw reactions.
And I'm
And
very excited for it.
yeah, I'm very excited for you guys to go down this trip or like experience this with us as well. Um, like I don't know, it's gonna be a little hard to top these two books
It
that we
is.
just read,
It is. And
but
I will say from experience that it's not going to top those two books, but
okay,
is it's really good.
okay,
It'll be
perfect.
up there with them, but it will not top them.
Yeah, though these two books are definitely on my top like 10 favorite books
Yeah.
overall because this author, she like it is
Killed it.
insane. She killed it like
Yeah.
through and through. I
Yes.
don't think I'll ever like forget like
Yeah.
this book. So,
Same.
thank you guys for watching.
Until next time.
Stay
Bye.
spooky. Bye.